640. Should be good. All right, we're awaiting from the Real Housewives of New York, a couple of the stars of the show, Alex McCord and Simon Van Kempen, and they have different. Why not the same last name? They're married, aren't they?
I don't ask these kind of questions.
Well, I'm going to ask
it's
them.
Alex and Simon. Don't ask.
I want to find out right away. I mean, you got people here, and they got two lovely children here, and they got two stage names already.
No, don't call them stage names. It's Alex and Simon.
I love the show, but
They're two individuals.
I'm just curious. They probably mentioned it. You didn't see that episode, did you?
No,
and they got a book out called Little Kids Big City.
That's good stuff too.
Yeah, it's going to be great stuff. Well, we have them now. That's good. Let's get on there right away and avoid some confusion here. Welcome to the PM show to Alex and Simon. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, guys.
Hey there, how you doing?
Oh, boy, listen to Simon, boy.
Simon,
the personality's
incredible.
First
question, Simon, I got to ask you because I was spouting off here on the air. Why are the different names? Aren't you guys, like, married?
Absolutely.
We are married.
We've been married 10 years.
Married
last
for
month.
10 years.
But, we got an echo in the house.
I like that. I got both of you on the line at the same time. So why not?
Exactly.
Alex, you've retained your name. Is that the deal?
I did. I kept McCord, which is my maiden name, and really, I made that decision when I was about 8 years old. I always decided that if I was ever going to get married, that I was going to stay McCord, and luckily I married someone who was fine with that.
All right, and that's good. And Simon, here's the thing. I'm in the middle on this deal because I have a daughter, and I would like her to keep my name also, but it's like, it's up to the person. So, okay, you answer the question. I'm with you on this thing. It's good. And Simon, you're big enough to handle it. She loves you. You don't need the name, right?
Well, no, absolutely. Look, I think if Alex had said, look, she wants the children to go by her last name, that might have made me pause a little bit. But marriage doesn't mean ownership. So why should she take my name and she doesn't become Alex, who is Simon's wife, type of thing?
I'm with you on this, Simon. I'm liking Simon already right now, and Alex.
Simon's pretty cool, if I can go ahead and say.
I think so too, but of course I'm biased.
Now, what's going on the show? Because we want to get to the book, but what's happening on the show right now? Give us an update on the Real Housewives of New York.
Well, part 2 of the reunion airs tonight. We're actually calling you from the TV Guide Party where we are with all the other most of the other housewives and Andy Cohen and Kathy Griffin and all those fun people. And then we are going to run home and watch part 2 of the reunion at 9 o'clock, and it is crazy. It is off the rails.
Now, I think in part 1, was it Jill that kept walking on and off the set?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Who's not at the...
said.
Yeah, who's not at the party right now? You said everybody there. Who's not there?
Jill's not.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, I'm going to watch the show tonight.
Well, at least you're not going to break out, Alex.
We have had an amazing time with this season. You finally get to a point where you just can't take it anymore, and you have to tell people what you really think, whether it's nice or not, and that's definitely what happened to me this year.
Yeah, you
kind of came out of the show.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, everything that has been going on this season has been happening since season 1. It just got amplified because in real life, when you don't like somebody, you can just walk away and never see them again. But when you're contracted to be on a show together, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse until they finally blow.
Hey, tell that to John and Kate +8, huh? That's one that right there bites you right in the nose. So how do you get chosen to be on a show like this on The Real Housewives of New York? Do you hear about an audition or do you bring an idea? How does it happen?
Well, we were actually approached 4 years ago. It was June 2006. And, I'd opened a hotel in New York in 2001, just a week before 9/11. I was desperate for business, as you can imagine, at the time. And I started doing a lot of work with film production companies and TV shows and filming in the hotel. And so Alex and I both had friends. She'd been an actress for 10 years, and we both had friends who worked in the business. And we heard this show was being cast. It was a show called Manhattan Moms. And it took a year for Bravo to buy the show. And when we went into production, they then said at the end, oh, it's actually going to be Real Housewives now. But when we started filming, the Housewives of OC had only had one season. And, how do you get into it? You have to be a little bit crazy. I mean, Alex and I are normal, well-rounded, grounded people, but we have this little bit of insanity that makes us want to go on TV. Don't ask me why.
Well, you're doing a fine job. Now, tell me about the book here, because the book is called Little Kids, Big City, and you've kind of, people, you've inspired some, upset some others over there. You're raising the kids in the city environment over there. So what prompted you to write a book on top of everything else? The book is called Little Kids, Big City.
Well, I actually started writing down our stories back in 2004 when our first was just a few months old. And initially it was just sort of a rant and a rave of all the insanity that goes on with raising kids, because we came from the perspective that neither of us wanted to have children. And it was only after we'd been married for about 3 years that we decided that we had changed our minds, and then we sort of threw ourselves in full tilt. So although we researched everything, you sort of never believe that it's going to happen to you. And so we wrote down all these stories, the good, the bad, the ugly. Fast forwarding to after the first season of the show had aired, a lit agent approached us and said, we love your blogs for the show. We think you both write really well. Let's do a book. And I said, well, funnily enough, we've got 5 years of material already here with this.
Yeah. And so the book is out now? It's available for us now?
And look, if I can say so myself, it's Father's Day this Sunday, and because this has my perspective, which is sort of unique Alex and I write as we talk. He said, she said. She says a bit, I then say a bit. And that's what we talk about in the book. It talks about what we discovered. I mean, look, in season 1 on the show, we were seen to be a bit of the weirdos. What you saw us was true, but over the 3 seasons now, you've seen more of us that were not so crazy. And people really resonated with the stories we told about, hey, being a parent it's mind-numbingly exciting and frustrating, sometimes at the same time.
Yeah, and I think you have mellowed out. Not so much you guys have, but it's like you've become sort of more the norm of the series now, and I think that's kind of registered with a lot of the viewers.
Well, the stories that are in the book are the stories that almost every parent goes through. And because we had such a hard time the first season of the show, we felt free to be rigorously honest and tell, every parent has those worst parent in the world stories, the ones that make you laugh, the ones that make you cry, the ones that make you happy. No one called Child Protective Services. And every parent, if they're honest with themselves, has those moments. And we wrote them all down, the good, the bad, the ugly, the gross, the disgusting. And the comments that we have gotten from readers is they love that we go there and that we, sort of show you everything that you don't see on the show, because it's not so much about, the drama of the women. This is about the family and the kids and what it's like to raise kids in the city. And I'm so thrilled that people are really loving it. And as Simon said, 50% of it's written from the dad's perspective. So if people are looking for a good Father's Day gift, they can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
All right, now,
yeah, because it's a book that the moms can read as well and enjoy. So they can buy the father a present and still enjoy the book.
Yeah, but it's a good Father's Day gift, too. Is it available at bookstores everywhere, Amazon.com?
Yes.
Amazon,
Amazon, Borders, Barnes & Noble, everywhere books are sold.
All right, now, can you guys hang in with us, or do you have to go somewhere else?
You got the parties getting started there?
There's a party in the room next door. How long would you like us to hang around
Like
for?
Another segment, like 5-7 minutes after this break?
No problem.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine.
Perfect. Hang in with us then. We're honored to have with us here the Real Housewives of New York City stars Alex McCord and Simon Van Kempen. We'll stay with them and come back right after this. Stay with us from CRN. It's the PM show. Michael Horn and Paul Stern.
Does your furnace need repair? Your house need cleaning? Or maybe you're ready to update your kitchen? Big or small, whatever your home improvement need, now it's easy to find the right home pro for your project. Log on to redo.servicemagic.com. ServiceMagic is a free online